Two Texas cheerleaders who this is again. So we got young Ralph Yarl, who was shot looking, coming to pick up his siblings. 16 years old, gets out his car, rings a doorbell. I don't know anybody burglarizing your home that will ring your doorbell. I don't. I haven't been burglarized. Well, we had one break-in when I was 5 or 6, and that was my father's former parolee who, that was a vendetta. He was mad at my dad. But I've never really been burglarized. But, so that doesn't happen frequently. I'm just saying, like, people don't get burglarized often. But what I do know is they're not probably going to ring your doorbell. And they're probably not going to be a young 16-year-old by himself, because usually, thieves come, like demons. They come gathered with, one or two or more gathered. They're not just going to show up, ding dong, hi. And there was no even conversation with this old man asking any questions at all. He just opened fire on young Mr. Ralph Yarl. And I saw a picture Lee Merritt posted. So he looks like he is completely recovering nicely, which is great, because I don't know what it feels like to be shot in the head and a few days later be able to sit up and talk. And I mean, my goodness. But that man is claiming that Cretin, that 80-something-year-old, been here too long to not know better, that he was standing his ground. That's what, he's going to claim, stand your ground. George Zimmerman. I think Lamont and I have a side bet, and I don't want to bet on, convictions and stuff, but I feel like this Cretin should spend the rest of his life in jail. Lamont doesn't think he's going to spend a day in jail. Maybe he's going to do a Kyle Rittenhouse. It's Missouri, for crying out loud. Kansas City. How many people registered to vote there that will actually be on a jury? Because that's the big question, too. You don't get on the jury unless you are registered to vote. How many people in Kansas City, Missouri are registered to vote to be on that jury? But all they need is one, I guess, on the jury to say, nah, this old man doesn't deserve to go to jail. So we'll see. We're going to be following this case. He told police he fired twice without saying a single word. And he was charged with first-degree assault, which carries a penalty of life in prison. He turned himself in yesterday, and charged with armed criminal action as well, which has a penalty range of 3 to 15 years. He's 80-something years old. So, there's that. Then you have the two Texas teenagers, cheerleaders. Texas, come on, y'all. Texas. This is, I love you, Houston and Dallas and some other parts, but Texas is such a state. Two Texas cheerleaders were shot after one of them mistakenly got into the wrong vehicle in a parking lot. This is early Tuesday morning after practice. The police department officials said that a 25-year-old man was arrested for the shooting. Information was verified with the Bastrop County authorities. One of the victims was treated and released at the scene. The other was helicoptered to a hospital and is in critical condition. Heather Roth, a cheerleader with the Woodlands Elite Cheer Company, said on Instagram that she and 3 other cheerleaders had completed practice when they went to a carpool lot. Roth said she got out of her friend's car and opened the door to a car she thought was her own, but a man was in the passenger seat. Now, I used to have a Lexus, which I call a soccer mom car. And I hated that car because when I went to the gym, I would park it. There were 5011, same color, that smoke gray, charcoal, same style. It was like 5011. When I would go to the supermarket and park the car, 5011 of them would be in the parking lot. And in the gym, which my gym, a lot of women with the children in the soccer mom car. I have left the gym and gone up to the wrong car at least 3 times I can recall, and been embarrassed with myself, looking around like, oh, shoot, this ain't my car. How do I not recognize my car? Because it looks like every other car in the parking lot. That has happened to me. I can't even imagine doing that and being shot because I mistakenly opened the wrong door. That has happened. This is some scary times. I don't know what to make of it, but this young lady said she thought it was her car, but the man in the passenger seat, he got out, and she went back to her friend's vehicle. And then the man couldn't let that go, got out and rolled down the window. When she went to apologize, he started shooting. This is what's going on in America right now. Alabama Sweet 16 party. We didn't talk about that. 4 people dead, 4 children, 4 young people dead, killed, 32 others injured. So this Joker just opened fire like he's Scarface or something, just like at a Sweet 16 birthday party. I don't want to give their names. 2 teenagers were charged with 4 counts of reckless murder. They've been both charged as adults, as they should. They were arrested and charged yesterday. 4 victims still in the hospital in critical condition, so more could be making transition. The shooting took place at a crowded birthday party in a small town of Dadeville, Alabama, located about 60 miles northeast of Montgomery. The suspects will have a bond hearing within the next 24 or 48 hours. They'll be asking for no bond for them. One of the victims killed, Phil Stavius Dowdell, 18 years old. It was his sister's party. So can you imagine being a 16-year-old, having her birthday party, and your brother, and I think Mr. Dowdell was on his way to Jackson State on a football scholarship. So, you're celebrating something, which is, was something we look forward to. 16, there's certain markers in your life. Graduating from kindergarten. Yes, kindergarten. I remember it like it was yesterday, graduating from kindergarten. There's a little picture, the little cap and gowns. The first time you actually graduated as a little kid. And it's like, yes, I graduated. Graduating from 5th grade into going into middle school, big deal. Graduating from high school, big deal. But that's Sweet 16, college, of course. That's Sweet 16. That's something. That's almost like, in some cultures, they have their rites of passage at 12 and 13, the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah. But Sweet 16, the sentence, I can't say the 15-year-old, in the Spanish-speaking culture, quinceañero. Is that what it is? Quinceañero. I'm not rolling my orders. Quinceañera. Yes, it's a girl. Only girls get to do that. Thank you, Smith. Why do you know this? These are markers. So the Sweet 16 is a big deal. They even had MTV used to have a whole thing. That's where I first saw Tiana Taylor at one of them, My Sweet 16. And I think CeeLo did one with his child. I remember those on MTV. So this is a big deal for this young lady. And her brother got killed, and her friends, 3 others, Corbin DeMontre. Okay, I can do this. Corbin DeMontre Holston, and Marcy Emmanuel Collins, 19. I think Corbin's 18. Sean Kivia, Nicole Smith, 17. All lost their lives at a birthday party this weekend. So we got a lot of things happening in this country that we have to figure out. And I think, for me, it's the fragility of the folk not working on themselves. It's like, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be different. It's okay. All of that's okay to have a difference of opinion. But what we do with this, taking human life, somebody got in a car, tried to get into your car by accident. Clearly, she probably had on a cheerleader outfit. She wasn't. What was going to happen to you? A young man's lost. He comes to the wrong door. He rings your doorbell. You don't even ask him, what does he want? You open fire. And what is doing, I thought COVID was going to, change the trajectory of how we interact. Because I know for me, it has, I was already side-eyeing all of y'all's breath anyway. I was already not really feeling all of the touches, because I've seen far too many people leave the bathroom without washing their hands, coughing out in the ether. And the one thing I never want to be is sick because somebody was inconsiderate with their breath, And then COVID happened. I was like, oh man, it just took it to a whole other level for me. And now there's a new variant of COVID too that gives you conjunctivitis. I need my eyes. I don't want to have conjunctivitis. So now I got to wear goggles. This is too much. It's too much. I thought that was going to be the thing that was going to keep us in the house. But it's this, because you can go to a party or go to school. Like there's no place safe, no university, no grade school, no school for children, babies, 5, 6 years old, 7. There's no place that you can go in America. Grocery store, Walmart. Apparently you can get shot in Walmart. Like, just somebody can accuse you of shoplifting, and you don't have to have a good reaction to that. Listen, somebody should get cussed out if you were shoplifting and they, you know, and even if they may have put their hands on you, you're going to take a life? Really? Like, I don't know. Maybe it is old school, coming up in a time, not that I ever really had a fight. The worst fight I ever had was a shoe fight. And I got punched in the jaw at 7 because I was running my mouth. But that was a teenager. He got in a lot of trouble punching a 7-year-old. Granted, I was big for my age. So, and I had a mouth. And he didn't like something I said to him. Might have called him this is before crack. I called him something. I know I did because I was always calling people something. But yeah, and I didn't really have any fights growing up. But I remember, you know, as Ava said on Abbott Elementary, and I think I might have lived by that. One way to never get your ass beat is to know who could beat your ass. So when this kid said he was gonna beat my ass, he took karate. He would be practicing karate out on the schoolyard. I was like, well, I'm just not gonna go out. If I see you again, I'm gonna kick your ass. I was like, okay, you won't see me because you can probably kick my ass. And when I kicked Clarence Cato in the butt and ran, didn't realize he would end up becoming a world-class linebacker. He caught me. I didn't think he could catch me. And the lights went out and I couldn't breathe because he caught me and sat on me. And he was about 200 pounds in the 5th grade. I remember that. And I was like, note to self, do not underestimate folk. You learn. That's how you learn as a kid. You know, you just learn these things. We don't have any of those skills anymore. We are teaching, oh, you don't like something? You can shoot people. Like, that's how we're conflict now resolving conflict through violence. It's a very scary place to be. And I was just telling someone this morning, I think it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. But I do believe the whole lot worse will kind of burn away everything, and like a volcanic eruption, which is what I feel like we're in right now. When that lava settles down and it dries up or cools off, the soil is some of the richest soil. And for me, that represents the young people coming up afterwards. You know, these kids, these 12, 13-year-olds, 18-year-olds, I feel like they will, and I've been saying this for a while now, that's the generation that's going to save us, because they ain't for the itch with the climate. You know, they recognize the planet is important. They also out here in them streets marching and fighting for their lives, literally marching for their lives. When the adults can't figure out how to get it together, these kids are marching for their lives. And I feel like, you know, with a few exceptions, of course, the Cretan that shot the folk in the beautiful people in Buffalo, the Cretan that shot those beautiful people in church in Charleston, South Carolina, the Cretan, and I'm just probably listing all of the Cretans in there, the Uvalde Cretan and all these other Cretans that can't figure out how to navigate life, so damaged. The vast majority of that generation, they're going to be the stuff growing out of the good soil after this thing burns.